finish up those hard problems, and hopefully you'll do well tomorrow. The only thing I can tell you is, please, you're supposed to be keeping track of the problems you had a little bit of issues with, and then go home and just rework the problems. That's all I'm asking. Anybody have any questions for that? Is that your calculator right there? People are talking about. All right, so here we go. Let's look and see how you guys did on a couple of these problems. All right, super, super important. Let me find you guys. Pre-algebra, percent word problems. Here we go. We didn't do 29, did we?
No.
Did we do 28? Did we? Okay, so here we go. Let's check out 29. All right, let's check out 29. And again, you're allowed to use a calculator. All right, so let's see what you got. Did you give me an answer for 29?
Okay.
29, do you have the answer?
For A,
Yes, what is it? $19,351.50. All right, hold on a second. How's everybody doing on that? Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
All right, is everybody happy with that? All right, that's good. All right. Now, it says how much not including tax will she pay? All right. So, can you tell me how you did that?
So what I did, since this card on a 5% discount, the first thing I did was 21,000 times 0.95.
Yes, hold up with that.
And that gave me
Times 0.95. Just stop right there. Is everybody good with that? Now, it also says we can take what?
50% off the
Right, so I can multiply that answer by what? 0.97. Look, guys, that's super, super important. All right, how many people got that right? All right, you guys, very good. Very, very good. All right, that's how I want you to understand numbers. All right, super important that you know that. All right, now, what do I do for B? Let me have somebody else. Tell me what I did. $19,000 what? $950. And how did we do that? Just 0.95. Very nice. All right, very nice. All right. Now, we have to pay the 6% tax. So what was the answer, Will? Well, but we want to, oh, wait a minute. If sales tax is 6%, how much including tax will she save by buying the car in December? How much? Well, so I'm going to change this a little bit. I want to just tell me this. All right. I want to know what is the cost of the car in December if I buy it in December, because I feel better about that. Not how much you save, but I want to know what the car costs. So everybody pull out your calculators and tell me what the car is going to cost. All right. But I want someone to tell me what to do here. Ellis, can you tell me what to do to find the total cost? Yes, very nice, very smart. Does everybody see that? We take $19,351.50 because that would be the sale price, correct? And then we'd multiply it by what? 1.06. Very good, Ellis. Tell me what that is now. Anybody else get that? Is everybody happy with that? Look, now I'm just here to tell you, man, that's important information for you guys. All right, hopefully when you leave 7th grade, you'll feel good about understanding percentages. All right, it's on all standardized tests. They can be very tricky, all right? But if you understand, if you add or subtract from 100, it makes life much easier. Much, much easier. So those are the 3 questions that I want you to look over and make sure you understand that. Now notice I changed SIG, right? I need everybody to make a note to yourself. All right. Mr. Shrow wanted the total cost. He didn't care about how much was saved. All right. All I cared about was the total cost of the car. All right. Everybody good with that? All right. Make sure you make that note. All right. Now, number 30 I thought was fantastic. All right. Somebody want to help me out with an answer? What do you think?
I think it was 12%.
12%. Anybody else come up with this? All right. Now, what did you think? 8%? 8%. So now, again, I'm not saying who's right or who's wrong, but again, this is what I need for you to do. I need for you to graph it. All right? I need everybody to graph it. So we're going to go plot the points, -1, -2, and then 4, -2, and then 4, 3, and then -1, 3. And then I want you to draw the shape. And everybody should have gotten this right if they would have drawn it out. Now, for those of you guys who didn't know what quadrant 3 is, you could have looked quickly Google, what's quadrant 3? What I know, oh, it does say it on that. I didn't even see that. All right, so it even tells you. So we want to know about this guy right here. All right, what percent of the whole area is that? Now, I would like everybody in here to say, if I didn't know, you should be able to tell me, well, I know it's not these two. Which of these two I know for sure? It's not 32 and 48. That's a very small part. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So because you know it's a very small part, right, you have options. All right? What? Go ahead, tell me what you think.
So, how that is, I counted all of the squares and
There are 25 squares.
so I got 2 equals X% of 25.
Exactly. Or you can say this. Listen to me. You're 100% right. So I don't want to try to, but I want, here's how I want you to address this. All right, listen to me. Sometimes I say you were going into algebra, make an equation. But if you understand numbers better, this is just how many are shaded? Out of how many? There's what you're looking at. Now, it asks for a percent. Do you agree? Right now we have a, so we convert it by dividing it. And if you divide that, that's 0.04 or 0.08. And 0.08 is the same as what? 8%. So that tells me that you know everything there is to know about a percent or about numbers. Because you're able to tell me what the fraction, you're able to tell me what the decimal, and you're able to tell me what the percent is. That's important. All right? Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about right here, now would be a good time to say, hey, man, help me out a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. That's a high school level question right there. I pulled that right off an SAT exam. All right? That's because high school kids aren't as good with percentages as you're going to be. All right? Understanding numbers, super important. All right? Here we go. Next one, again, super, super, super important. This is what I was telling you about writing an equation. All right? I wanted you to write an equation. Could somebody tell me about 31 besides you two? Somebody else. Give me an answer on 31. What did you get? Good for you.
I got 0.96.
Okay, so we got an A so far. I'm happy with you. All right? Girls in the back, did you guys get something? 0.96. Anybody else have an answer? 24. Good.
Yeah, I got 24.
24. Colin? 24. Okay, so I've got more 24s now, which is perfectly okay. Now, again, please let me address with you how simple this is, because we learned how to translate. All right? 8%. How do I write 8%? 0.08. Of in math means to do what? Multiply that by 60. Is means what? Equals 1/5. What does of mean again? Multiply by, we don't know. So we're going to put a what? N. Very good. There you have it, guys. All right, that's the translation. Now, everybody here should be able to tell me what 1/5 is as a decimal. 1/5 is 0.2. So now, what's 0.08 times 60? Somebody tell me. 4.8 equals 0.2 n. Now, how do I solve? You can either multiply by 5, or you could divide by what? 0.2. Either one of those would work. Divide by 0.2, divide by 0.2. So in fact, my answer is what? Try it. Do 4.8 divided by 0.2. You see it now? All right. Now again, listen, I'm not bragging on you now, but I'm telling you these are high school questions right here. All right. If you're getting these, you're knocking these out, man, you're in great shape. Really good shape. All right. If not, we need to be talking. All right. You need to be asking me a question. If you're not sure why we did something, now's the time to let me know. Everybody good with this? All right. Next high school question. 32. You are standing in line at the cash register to pay for a bracelet priced $15.99. A sales tax of 8% of the $15.99 will be added to the price of the bracelet. You have $21 bills, but how much will you need in coins if you want to have exact change ready? So what did you think?
I did $15.99.
Good.
Times 1.08.
Brilliant. And so tell me what that is.
Then we got 17.2692.
17 point.
27. So it just be 27 cents.
You are awesome, buddy. Thank you so much. How's that? They're just saying if you wanted to have the exact change, you'd have to have what? 27 cents. Very nice work again. Guys, another, believe it or not, hear me, another high school question. For which one? All right, let's see 33. Hold up now. All right. Tell me what to do. Okay, so what you're doing is you're looking at the answers, correct? All right, so listen to what she said. She just picked out one of the answers, right? And so she said, well, I'm going to buy 12, right? So if I buy 12, that'd be 12 times 8, which is not. That's okay, but you started with that. Hey, boys, listen, I mean it now. I'm going over something, so you got to pay attention. All right, but no, I'm saying what you're doing is great. She started with 12, and if you buy 12, it costs you $96. But then we need the tax, so I have to multiply 96 times what? No, time. Yes, multiply by 1.07. So everybody do 96 times 1.07. And what is that? So is that too much? Yes, it was too much. So if 12 was too much, the answer had to be what? The answer had to be 11. That's a really good way of doing it. Really good way. Does anybody else want to give me something on that? What? 11. A little bit different, right? How did you do it?
I did 4 88, and then I did times.
Yes. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yes, ma'am.
I did 8 times 0.07, and I got 0.56, and I added it to the 8.
I'm really proud of you on that too. That's a really good way. So one, listen, I'm really happy that you said that. Listen to me. So I would really though wish you would just say 8 times what? 1.07. Right? Do 8 times 1.07. Now, of course, Julie, if you multiply by 0.07 and add it, is it the same thing? Yes, but it's quicker if you multiply by what? 1.07. Do you agree? 8.56, and now I can do what? You are awesome, girl. That's the other method. That's a really good method. Yes, ma'am. Bless you.
Sorry.
That's okay? You good? No trouble. All right, is everybody happy with that explanation? Very, very good. Very good. All right, now let's move on to question 34. All right, I want to read this because I want to blow it up a little bit. All right, it says the Sunrise Preschool held an annual book fair for 3 days. The total profit for the 3 days was $2,525. The profit in dollars is shown for each of the 3 days. What is the average profit per day that the preschool made during the 3 days? All right, so how do I do that, Caroline?
Well, I did 105,000. Well, for day 2, I had it 600, and then for day 3,
So what did I do? Yeah, now listen to me though. I'm not saying you're wrong, but look right here, kiddo. The total profit for the 3 days instead of they just gave you it. All right. Now again, listen. The thing I'm trying to show you right now is sometimes when they give you the graphs like this, and again, this is a high school test question. All right. It's kind of hard to see exactly. Do you agree? All right. So that's why sometimes like this one down here was kind of hard for me to see. So I had to read carefully again, and that's what reminded me that they gave me the information already added up. Do you agree? So really all I have to do is what? Yes, divide that by 3. Everybody take 25, 25 and divide it by 3. What is it? Which one? What is it? So the answer would be what? Yeah, because it says which one of the following is the closest, right? So the correct answer here was C. That's kind of annoying too. I don't like when they say which one's the closest when we have an answer. Somebody agree with me on that? Because it makes you feel like you're doing something wrong. You're not always doing something wrong. All right? You guys, boys, all right back there? You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me what's wrong. Remember, to find the average, you divide the total by the number, right? And there were 3 days. All right? Now number 35 I thought was nice. Approximately what percent of the book fair's profits over the 3 days were on day 1? Julian, what do you think about this one now? But I want you to tell me how to do it.
Okay, so
How much profit was on day 1?
on day 1 you made $1,500.
That's correct. So that's the part, 1,500.
And then the whole is
What? Very good.
2,500.
Now you're thinking, man. Come on. Just relax. That's exactly right. He made 1,500 out of 2,525. And what decimal was that?
That is point 0.59.
So that's going. So that's going to be.
That's going to be 60%.
Does everybody agree with its K? 60%. That's another one that's kind of estimated, correct? Does everybody agree? All right. Again, now does everybody see? Sometimes we don't need a equation if you can remember percent is part to whole. Everybody good on this?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's have some more fun. All right. Yeah, we got a lot. All right, here we go. So let's check out 36. All righty, let me hear this one. Read it. So which one is not the answer? Yeah, we could just, that's just dumb, right? So that's why I like to try to tell kids, smart test taking strategy. Cross things out that aren't true. All right, so now, what do I have to pay tax on? Right, so how much did that cost me without tax? You're adding that up for me, how much? $4 and did you say 40 cents? All right, $4.40. All right, so now you have to pay some tax, right? So how do I figure out what I have to pay altogether, including the tax? You multiply that by 1.05. Brilliant. Is how much is that? 4.62. Anybody else get that? So what do you have to give the guy? Very nice, very nice. For those guys who knew that, again, that's another high school question. Believe it or not, I know. That's what I say. That's why kids are not very good at percentages. That's what I'm saying. Pay attention. You learn a lot. Hold on a second. All right. Now, 37, put a star by. All right. And Connor in the back. Tell me which ones I can cross out.
Increase by. You can cross out 2%.
2%, good.
And 15%.
And 15%, and
20%.
you are brilliant. Because if you increase by 10 and then you increase by 20, you can't be less than that. Right now, which one do you think the answer is?
30%.
That's what most kids say. That is 32%. If you got that right, really pat yourself on the back. Really, really, really. All right, that was a really hard one. All right, so now I want to show you. I want to show you why. So eyes up. Put your eyes up. Do we know how much she actually jumped? So that's going to be what? X or N. All right, I like N, so I'm going to use N today. We have no idea. But we know she increased by what? 10%, right? Now, this is the time you got to listen. Because this is there's easy, medium, hard, and really hard. And this is the really hard one. Even though, to me, I narrowed it down to 50-50. All right, so I knew, it's not really that hard. All right, so what do I multiply what she first jumped by? What do I multiply by? No. 1.1. We multiply by 1.1. And then she got even better. Then you multiply by 1.2. Exactly. Exactly. Now, do we know what N is? No, but guess what 1.1 times 1.2 is? 1.32. So she increased by what percent? By 32%. Nice. Very important. Make sure you're looking at that. Now, does it really matter what N is, guys?
No.
Nah, it doesn't matter what N is. All right, you just multiplied it by 1.1, then you multiplied it by 1.2. And that gave you what? 1.32. All right? With what? Well, were you talking while I was talking? Because you guys were doing stuff. That's why I keep saying something to you guys. So you don't understand where 1.1 came from if there's a 10% increase. Why would it be 1.1? Because 100% plus 10% is what? Yes, you know that. Come on. All right, that's what I'm saying. It's okay if you don't know something. It's not okay if you don't know something because you're not listening. Yes, tell me what to do.
So first I did 580
Uh-huh.
over 1,450, and then on the other side I did x over 100, and I 480 times 100.
Now listen to me, kiddo, because you said something really good. So if a farmer originally had, well, what percent did she sell? So listen to me. What I would prefer if you just say this, even though you're 100% correct. I would prefer that you just say it's 580 out of 1450. That's the fraction. You hear what I'm saying? So now divide that on your calculator and tell me what that is. Just a minute. Now you know that's the decimal.
And then you do
Yay, nice work. You see what I'm saying? All right, that's how I'd want you to think of it. I don't mind you doing the proportion N over 100, but you're smart enough now that you can just say the fraction to a percent. Just divide it. All right, Will, what?
I subtracted 1,000.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But listen to what the question is, because I can see your confusion. Because again, this is another high school question. All right, listen to me. What percent did she sell?
Ah,
It wasn't what was the change.
oh.
You with me? It's what did you sell? All right, and you sold how much? 580 out of what? 1450. Everybody happy with that? All right, that's another really good one. Uh-oh. Now, if you were listening, this one you can do. All right, because this one is very, very, very similar to question 37. All right, very, very similar to 37. So take a look at it, read it real quick. All right. Then, Colin, do you want to give it a shot on this one? Or do you just want me to pick somebody else? This one's kind of tricky. I want you to think about it because I think you can do it.
I tried it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay, so do we know what the original price is?
No.
No, so we're going to put that as what?
And
N. Now, what percent do I have to pay for it?
75%.
So I multiply that by what?
75%.
0.75. Good. Now, they're going to say, well, because you're a good customer, I'm going to give you another 10% off. So now what would I have to do?
Then you have to multiply it by 90%.
That's right. So I'm going to multiply that by what?
0.9.
0.9, right? So now do that on your calculator for me. Shh. I'm asking Colin.
I got 0.675.
So 0.675, right? So that means I had to pay what? 67.5% is what I have to pay, right?
Yeah.
I paid 67.5%. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
So then what percent is my discount?
Discount.
And look at your answers. See if you can just say the answer.
It would be 32.5.
You are awesome. That makes sense to you now, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's a super, super, super hard problem also. Super hard. Another high school question. All right, most kids can't do that. All right, listen to what I just said. See if you evaluate what I'm saying. Do we know what the original price was? Do I know what the original price is? No. Do I even care? No, because I'm going to multiply that by what? And then I'm going to multiply by, and then that's going to give me what? 0.675. So I paid what? 67.5%. Which means my 25% and my 10% really only amounted to what? 32.5%. Most people would say it's what? 35%. You see that, right? Most people put K. It's definitely not. Definitely not. All right? So let's continue on. Very good job. All right, I'm expecting everybody to do this one, so everybody take your time and do this problem. Everybody do this. Come on. You did it already? Think you got it right? Good. What'd you get? 420. Anybody else get that?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so what did you do to get that? Uh-huh. You're an awesome girl. Yay, that's exactly right. Exactly right. Very smart. Don't be confused now by the word problems anymore. Don't look at them and go, oh my gosh, these are so hard. If you understand numbers, it's, oh my gosh, it's so what? Easy. Very easy. Tell me quick.
Couldn't you just also do cross out 34,400 or 2042?
That's actually pretty nice. Pretty nice. Because you're going to take 1/9 of something that's going to be small. Right? That's a pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, that's what I also want you to start thinking about. When you forget something, you look at numbers and you say, well, I know it's not these. Then you have a better chance when you're taking a test. You don't just randomly guess, ever. All right? You make good educated guesses. All right, so let's see what they say in 41. Okay, so what percent of the students are at least six? Now, this one is just a trick question. Just a trick question. They're trying to trick you. All right, is this really a percent problem?
No. It's
No.
not.
All you have to do is count up what? What numbers am I adding?
16
16?
and
Now remember, look what I'm saying right here. Here's what you have to remember. What percent of the students are at least 16? So if you're at least 16, you're 16 or what? Older. So what percent is 16?
16 is
And what's 17?
37.
And what?
9.
So you should be able just add those up.
And that adds up.
So what is that? I think it's 66%. Is everybody good with that? So now does everybody see how they weren't just, it's not, some of them just say percentages, but doesn't mean we did a percentage question. Everybody with me on that? That's a nice little tricky question. All right. Okay, this one's a really good one too. All right.
Alright, so Lonnie spent 15% of her 8-hour workday in meetings. How many minutes of her workday did she spend in meetings?
So what's the first problem?
So it's 15%
Of
8. Or of 100.
what? Read 8 what?
Oh, 8 hours.
Right. So this is what you should be highlighting. It says 8 hours, but then it wants it in what?
Minutes.
So you got to figure
So you
out.
have to transfer hours to minutes.
You have to transfer hours to minutes. So if you worked for 8 hours, you worked for how many minutes? How much?
No, yeah.
That's all right. Doesn't matter. 480 minutes. You worked for 480 minutes. And she spent what?
She spent 8 hours in meetings. Or 50% of her workday. My bad.
15%. 15% of. Multiply. So
15 times
you're just saying things now. You're just saying things. You're just talking. Stop. Listen. I want to know what the answer is. What do I do, Caroline? Yes, 480 times 0.15. Thank you very much. Which is what? Somebody said 72. Does anybody agree with that?
Yeah.
All right. Another high school question. All right. Let's look at 43. All right, this one's a big one. All right. So let's see what we can do on this one. It says, the Townsend Realty Group invested in 5 different properties listed in the table above. The table shows the amount in dollars the company paid for each property and the corresponding monthly rental price. The company charged for the property at each of the 5 locations. Townsend Realty purchased the Glenview Street property, so I find Glenview. I found Glenview, and they paid how much?
They paid $140,000.
They paid $140,000. All right. Then it says we received a what? 40% discount, and then we received a what?
20%.
20% discount.
So 60.
All right. No, wrong. All right. You don't just add them up and say 60. I've never added the percentages ever. What was the original price? Do we know what the original price is? No. Not 140,000. 140,000 is the what?
Purchase price.
The purchase price or the sale price. What was the original price? Do we know? No, we do not. So what are we going to label that? Come on, girls. We're going to label it in. Now, we purchased at a 40% discount. So, how much do we have to pay for it? We only paid 60%. So I multiply n by what? Times what? 0.6. Then, because I have a lot of cash in the bank, they said, if you pay me cash, I'm going to give you a 20% more discount. So now I have to multiply that by 0.8. Thank you very much. By 0.8. Now, that's my sale price. What is my sale price now? What was it? How much did I buy it for, guys?
You bought it for
140,000. So everybody do that. Is the bell ringing? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
All right, well, just relax for a minute. All right, so now what's 0.6 times 0.8?
That's 48.
0.48 is equal to 140,000. I mean it, guys. Is 140,000. Now what do I have to do? How did I get what? I read the chart up here. Do you see what I'm saying? Yes, then you divide. So you take n is 140,000 and divide it by 0.48. And it's going to be about what? 291. All right. Now listen, guys. What I'm going to do with my other classes, I'm going to start with these problems and do those. Does everybody hear me?
Yes.
All right. And then you guys study these problems now. It's going to be very hard test. All right. If you don't know how to do percentages. But Caroline, of course, does. She's got nothing to worry about.